They can't seem to get it together, huh? There we go. They can't seem to figure out what it is that they want to do at Warner Brothers. Now, for many of you who don't know, Batgirl was to be released. However, they were never quite positive whether they wanted to release this film as a theatrical release or on HBO Max, as they did with Wonder Woman 84 and as they did like a simultaneous release with The Suicide Squad, which was released at HBO Max and in theaters. $90 million. Pretty much pissed that away. But so this is my take on it. David Zaslav, who is now the president of Warner Brothers Discovery, because there was just a deal that Discovery bought Warner Brothers. He's fired all the top heads, Walter Hamada, and there's a slew of other people who were over the DCEU film projects. One of those projects was Batgirl. And a lot of fans had a lot of questions. Where did this sit in the DCEU? What part of the DCEU? We have two Commissioner Gordons now, because we have the Jeffrey Wright Commissioner Gordon from the Batman with Robert Pattinson. We have J.K. Simmons also as Commissioner Gordon from the Snyderverse version of the DCEU. We were led to believe that we were getting Jeffrey Wright. Where does that line up with the rest of the DCEU? Who knows? There were a lot of unsure moments with this film. $90 million. That's a lot. That's a lot of green, baby. Howard, this is my theory on that. This film right here. Move over here. All right. Right there. Over there. There we go. That's a better spot for it. Right there. It's being shelved. There is no release date. There is nothing tentative to put it on the shelf. If we're lucky, we'll probably see it at a con somewhere on DVD, because that's where most movies that get shelved go. It's probably the only places where you can find them. So here's my take on it. You have a new head of the state over Warner Brothers Discovery. Over that whole run, whatever projects that were either in development and pre-shooting, pre-production, have not been finished shooting, will no longer exist. I don't blame David Zaslav for this decision. The reason why I say that is because he's gone on record to say that they need a Kevin Feige type person to run the DCEU. They need somebody that's going to keep everything in line, keep everything together, so nothing's falling out of place. Because let's face it, love it or hate it, the DCEU is non-connective at best. which is why they probably didn't have that much to talk about at San Diego Comic-Con 2022. A lot of people left out of there saying all we got was a brand new Black Adam trailer, brand new Shazam Fury of the Gods trailer, with no mention or rumor of Henry Cavill coming back as Superman, with no mention of what they have going forward. Just those two films. So now I have to look at it with rose-colored glasses. These tint black, by the way. I can understand why he shelved it. And it has nothing to do with the acting. But if he feels as if it's not going to be something of great importance in the theatrical release form or even the HBO Max form, because let's face it, a lot of their other films that they've released through HBO Max, the numbers aren't good. They've tried it. They tried to do something other streaming services aren't doing. It's not working for them. Which leads me to believe that they'll probably go to the 3-month runtime and then drop it, like they did the Batman, like Disney is doing with Lightyear and Thor and any other film that they would have this year. So the Leslie Grace-led film of Batgirl will no longer be or see the light of day. Which leads me to question why we haven't heard much, or leads me to believe why we haven't heard as much from the Flash film. With all the drama and all the terror the menace known as Ezra Miller has caused, they're probably stuck trying to figure out where do they want to do with this film. They don't want to release it. Part of them doesn't want to release it because it's kind of lining the pockets of Ezra Miller if this thing is a hit. But then they don't want to take a hit on the back end just by dropping it on HBO Max. Leaves them in a bit of a conundrum. Thanks a lot, Ezra. So what gets done next? As left to be seen. To be honest with you, the general consensus for the Flash film was a lot of people didn't really care to see Ezra Miller as the Flash. They cared to see Michael Keaton coming back as Batman. So that circles back to Batgirl. This is what it's come down to. They want to start fresh. They want to start something new. David Zaslav has gone on record saying that Superman has not been treated as a character, has not been treated well within the past several years. And this is true. We didn't need Batman versus Superman. We needed a Man of Steel 2. They're cleaning house. If I was in that position, I would probably have to do the same. So, what's next for the DCEU? Remember to educate yourself and others, entertain yourself and others, and most of all, encourage yourself and others. It's Chris Fury.